The last book focused on Clay, the Mudwing. The other 4 dragonets were prisoners, so they weren't around much. In this book, the main character is Tsunami, the lost Seawing princess. The other 4 dragonets are prisoners, so they're not around much. I'm starting to sense a pattern here.
Argofunk Book Review, Argofunk Book Review.
The other major reason Tsunami is by herself in this book is that the others can't breathe underwater like she can. Tsunami dives in the ocean. The first Seawing she meets is a sneaky but cute guy named Riptide. He takes Tsunami and the other dragonets to the palace. Fortunately, Tsunami has very distinct scales that prove she's a member of the royal family. Queen Coral is overjoyed Tsunami has returned. She tells her brother to take care of the other dragonets, which in this case means they're chained to the floor of a cave that will flood tomorrow. With friends like these, who needs enemies? Tsunami is surprised to learn she has a 1-year-old sister named Anemone. Queen Coral uses a harness to make sure Anemone is always close to her side. Anemone hates it. She feels like she's been a prisoner her whole life. Anemone has a tutor named Whirlpool. This snobby jerk spends most of his time kissing Queen Coral's butt and complimenting her scrolls. Coral says he'll be a great king someday. Coral, you shouldn't let someone marry into your family just because he likes your fanfics. No, seriously, it sounds like Queen Coral writes fanfics about her life, then forces all the Seawings to read them. One story's about Tsunami's egg being stolen by webs. Another's about Princess Orca. As soon as Orca was old enough, she challenged her mother to a duel to the death for the throne. Queen Coral won, and it's clear she'll go to some lengths to make sure another daughter doesn't try to replace her. At a council meeting, the Seawings learn Queen Scarlet and Kestrel were killed in the last book. Queen Coral's greatly concerned with the fate of a Seawing named Gil. He's the mad dragon Tsunami killed in the arena. She's shocked to learn he was her father. Dun dun dun. Seawings can communicate silently by lighting up their scales in certain patterns. This language is called aquatic. Whirlpool gives Tsunami a worthless lesson on speaking aquatic. She gets a real lesson from Riptide. He's so nice, she can't dislike him for the fact that he's the son of Webs, the egg thief. The book becomes a murder mystery when somebody tries to kill Tsunami in a dark tunnel. Even worse, someone destroys one of the 2 royal eggs. Who's trying to kill members of the royal family? Pretty much everyone is a suspect. When Tsunami learns her friends were put in a drowning prison, she rescues them before they die. Queen Coral is uninterested in their near-death experience. Queen Blister arrives the next day. She's fairly condescending. She treats the dragonets like clever babies. She reveals that Anemone is their secret weapon. Anemone is an animus, meaning she has magic powers. She can make objects move with her mind. Anemone worries if she uses her powers too much, she'll go mad. Webs returns to the palace. Queen Coral wants to kill him immediately. Queen Blister manipulates the situation so she can learn the secret location of the Talons of Peace. Back with the murder mystery, Tsunami insists on guarding the last royal egg. In a surprise, she learns the culprit is the dead Princess Orca. Orca also had magic powers. She enchanted the statue in the royal hatchery to kill Queen Coral's children. Tsunami has a dangerous battle with the statue. Fortunately, the statue can't leave the room. Once Tsunami and the newly hatched princess go through the exit, they're safe. Tsunami and the other dragonets decide it's time for them to leave. Queens Coral and Blister don't want that to happen. They want the dragonets to give them the victory in the war. So they throw the dragonets in jail. Again. Anemone visits them. Sadly, she refuses to join the dragonets on their epic quest. Peril did the same thing in the last book. Why do all the cool characters stay out of the club? Anemone uses her magic to determine who tried to kill Tsunami. It's Whirlpool! He wanted Tsunami dead because she posed a threat to his plans to becoming king. Glory jokes, "I don't want to marry you," is definitely on her list of reasons why someone would try to kill Tsunami. Anemone hits Whirlpool, he falls into a pit of electric eels and dies. The dragons escape their watery prison while the eels are temporarily disabled. I guess the author felt a jailbreak wasn't an exciting enough ending because the Skywing army attacks and there's a giant battle. Our heroes escape with Webs, who's badly injured by poison. In the dramatic epilogue, Marosier reveals there's a second group of 5 dragonets. They'll be used to kill and replace all the dragonets that the villains don't like. Which is most of them. The end. Post-book follow-up. The first time I read this book, I was so confused. Half the characters are blue or green sea wings with water names. It's difficult to tell them apart. I kept asking who people were and who they were talking about. Outside of Anemone, Whirlpool, and Riptide, the others were mostly a blur. It doesn't help that many of the characters only appear once. Fortunately, the story made a lot more sense to me the second time around. I'd say the book definitely needs a list of characters complete with pictures. That would be a major help. I think it would also help if the book had chapters, instead of being divided into 3 parts of about 60 pages each. I liked most of the stuff with Tsunami in this book. The parts with her friends weren't as good, because the dragonets are forced to confront the awkward truth they don't have any idea what they're supposed to do. Yes, they're on an epic quest to end the war, but there is no plan at all. The entire book is about them visiting the Sea Kingdom. Even that had no purpose behind it besides Tsunami wanted to go. Overall, I liked it less than the previous one because I had to reread it to make sense of the characters. I'm still invested in this world and I want to see what happens next. I just hope there's not a quiz at the end. I give Wings of Fire graphic novel number 2, The Lost Heir, a 7 out of 10.